Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum. You guys introduce yourselves.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Becky. I'm an intern here at Microsoft, but this is my second live stream. Super pumped for it. I am also on the MakeCode forum. I forget my handle, though, so I'll pass on that one.
Hey, everybody. I'm Hassan, at Hassan on the MakeCode forum.
Yeah, if you tuned in last week, you know that Vivian, Joey, and Shannon are out this week. But luckily, I got a whole crew of other people who are going to be helping me out. Thank you, Becky and Hassan. And I know that the stream title today says that we're doing pixel art, but that is actually not the plan. That's what we were doing on Friday. I just forgot to change it. Hassan, you can actually probably change it if you go to the moderator view. Yeah, but anyway. We're working on a Zelda-like game that we started a bit ago. So this is a game that is inspired by The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. And I will just do a refresher since it's been, I think a week since we've worked on this game. So we've got this beautiful little mouse protagonist, which is now animated in all 4 directions. I did that over the weekend. And you can slash with your cute little sword. We've got this nice little tile map that we can walk between different screens. This is the town founder. We'll probably work that in somehow. Got these little igloo houses. We've got these enemies that are much too cute because you can slash them with your enemy, and also if you hit with your sword, and if you get hit by them, you take damage. They have 2 health right now, so once you hit them twice, they disappear. And then I think that is mostly it. I think that, yeah, just walking around the tile map to see if I forgot anything, but I think that's it.
Richard, do the enemies, do they try and chase you at all if you're close to them?
No, they just walk around in random directions right now. Okay. So it's just like every second, they'll just pick a random direction and move. Yeah. These guys are supposed to be if you played the old Zelda game, they're supposed to be Octoroks, and they just kind of have this behavior where they walk around. Yeah, we just started this game, and we've got the basics of it, but I want to make this into a full little Zelda game. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff, so we're gonna be working on this for a bit, and yeah, and it's a Richard game because I always draw mice as protagonists. I just like drawing mice. Okay, so I've made a to-do list of things that we might want to add to this game. We're not going to do all of these today, but here were the things I was thinking about. So first, we have Daubix's enemy. So let me go ahead and restart this game. And you see Daubix gave us this wonderful enemy, which also happens to look very much like Bow Wow from the original Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is cute. And we're going to be giving them some behavior, because right now they just kind of sit around, but they're gonna I think they're gonna bounce around and then occasionally lunge at you. So that'll be cool. And they're gonna be a harder enemy than the other one we have. Next, plants you can cut. So a kind of mainstay in the 2D Zelda games is you have these little bushes around, and when you slice them, they open up, and maybe they have items inside, but they kind of block your path until you get the sword. And I drew one of these, so I was doing some pixel art. So we got this guy right here. This is going to be our bush. I'll go over the other pixel art I drew. So first off, we're going to be replacing this cute little guy because he's too cute. Everyone was just screaming in terror whenever I was slashing them with my sword. So we're going to replace him with something else. I told Joey that I was making an enemy, and he gave me the cutest thing ever. So we're going to do this equally cute, but I think more acceptable to slash bat, which I animated right before this stream. Then some other things that I drew. I made some traps. So here, this is going to be a floor tile that falls away. So if I go over here, you can see the little animation of it falling away.
Fun.
And then here is an animation of our protagonist falling down the hole. So this will be placed over the tile. And we got some spikes. So if I mouse over this, it's not playing. There we go. These spikes that come out of the floor, and they'll damage you. So that'll be fun. And then I've got some more tile maps and stuff, but we'll get to those later. I'm planning on adding those. So let's go back to our list of to-do items and talk about what we're going to be doing today.
We have gotten a request for murder chickens.
Murder chickens.
Yeah.
Yes. We will do that at some point. I think we have to. So this is okay. So in the Zelda games, there is a classic thing called cuckoos, and these little chickens that just kind of like hop around the town, and they're very peaceful. They don't really do anything. Some games you can pick them up, but for the most part, they just kind of hop around. And if you slash them, they don't die. But if you slash them enough, then they get really angry, and a bunch of cuckoos will start coming in from every direction on the screen, and they will damage you until you die for punishment for attacking these harmless, beautiful little chickens that are in the town. So yeah, no, I want to do that at some point. Yeah, okay. So first we're going to do Dobox's enemy. Then we're going to probably do the plants. We want to do some random item drops, but I might push that one off because we don't really have any items to do yet. We probably need a way to get health, but whatever. Then we got some NPCs. We want to do indoor locations. So I've got a bunch of houses and stuff. I've got tile maps for the indoors, but we haven't hooked it up. So right now you can't go through doors. Like this house right here, big house. I need to decide what's going to be living in the big house and what's going to be living in the tiny house, but we'll figure that out later. Let's see. Then we got blocks you can push, another classic Zelda thing. Buttons you can press, and then things happen. That's another thing. Then we got the traps that I showed off. Then we want to do a dungeon, which will be really cool. We're going to do the bow and arrows because that's fun. And then hopefully we'll do a shop and start putting in some sound and music because, the game is silent right now. Okay. But to start off, yeah.
So is there, from Untag, a suggestion for auto healing or a way to regain health?
Yeah, so the plan is for the health. There's going to be things in the environment that you can like break and slice up. So the bushes are going to be one of them. When you slice them, they might drop some health. Same thing with enemies. We might also add in pots later. I really like games where you can pick stuff up and put them down, and it's classic. You pick up the pots and you throw them away. There's all of those comics of just Link coming into a person's house and breaking all of their pots, because that's just like his move.
Yeah.
Oh, inventory too.
Oh yeah, inventory will be a thing, but I think it's gonna be pretty basic. I don't know how many items we're gonna add to this game, and we've done inventory like many times on stream, and so I don't want to spend the whole time doing an inventory again.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I hope you like looking at this game because we're gonna keep working on it because I'm really enjoying doing the pixel art for it.
Richard, do you usually do the music too?
Yeah, but I will probably put that more towards the end. I could do it today, but I didn't set up my sound on my stream, so we can do that later. To be honest, it's kind of hard to do music in arcade right now, so I might have to do that off stream and then kind of like recreate it on stream, because I find it hard to do live. But yeah, we'll see. All right. So let's go with our enemy. So we're already spawning this enemy. They just aren't doing anything right now. And we're going to go over to our function where we are spawning this. So wait, I'm going to do a Daryl. Doing a Daryl is when you do collapse blocks or MakeCode.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to drag out our onTileMapLoaded function. And so this function gets called whenever we load a tile map. So whenever we go in between screens. And this is where we are spawning our enemy. There we go. So all I really wanted to see was what kind I gave it. But I realize now that if I had looked at the list of kinds, I definitely would have figured out that I had named this one Chomp. Okay. So my plan is to have this guy just like bounce, 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 then realize where the player is and like lunge. And we're going to give him a bunch of health also. So to do that, we want to use an on-game update interval block. And we're going to make it so that like every, I don't know how many seconds, like 1 second, we're going to start with doing that bouncing animation. So I need to get a hold of our Chomp. And to do that, we're going to go into loops and drag out a for-element of loop. So this is really useful when you want to loop over everything that's in a list of something. So I want a list of all of the sprites that are of kind chomp. We're only got one right now. But if I go into the sprites category, I can get this array of sprites of kind and change this to be chomp. And now this value will be pointing at our chomp. Okay, so now that I'm spawning, now that I've got a handle on this guy, I want to make it so that they're animating in either one direction or another. And I think that we're just going to make it a 50% chance which direction they're going in. So I think that to do that, we're going to go into logic. We're going to do an if. We're going to go into math, and then there's this great percent chance block, which I love, and I think we need to move over to microbit too because it's so useful in arcade. We're going to say if 50% chance, we're going to have them go left. Otherwise, we're going to have them go right. So I want this to be like a bounce, bounce, bounce. I don't want them to just move. So the best way to do something that's kind of complex like that, like a little bounce, 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 is to use what we call like path animations. And these are a lot of fun. They're kind of hard to wrap your head around. I think I need to I think I should go on the forum and just make a guide of how to make path animations. I think that would be helpful. Because this is going to seem really arcane as I'm doing it right now. But okay, so with these path animations, let me first make sure that it's pointing at value. We want to do our own custom things. So we have a bunch of built-in ones, things that are like fly to center, shake, bounce right, bounce left. And well, I guess let's actually try bounce right. Maybe that will just work fine. All right, we're gonna wait till this triggers. Whoa, there, whoa. Okay, wait.
He lost his mouth.
Oh yeah, that's the tile we're using to spawn him. Let me cover that up. My computer's being super slow today. Doesn't like it when I host stream. It prefers when Vivian host stream. Okay, so we're gonna cover all of those creepy mouth tiles right there with just grass, so that when they move, we don't get that. Okay, so that's not quite what we want. It's like going way too far down, I think. And also, it's like glitching out a little bit. I don't know why that's happening. So instead, we're going to make our own custom one. And to do that, you can make a custom one by putting in a string. And so what do we put in this string? Well, there's these things called SVG paths, which you can look up. And they're things that are used in the web browser to make like shapes. They're really nice, but they have this kind of syntax that's a little complicated, but you can use to kind of make your own thing. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And to start, I'm going to do a curve. So I want to do a curve. And to do a curve in the SVG paths, you type the letter Q, lowercase q, because I want it to be relative to its current position. Now I'm going to type in some numbers. The first one is going to be what's called a control point. And it's a little difficult to explain without graphing it out, but I want this to be like the height of where my jump is going to be, basically what to think about it as. And so I want it to move over, let's say 10 pixels total. So I'm going to put in an x of 5, and I'm going to put in a y of -5. And now the last point that we're going to add, the second point, is going to be our final position. And for that, I want it to move 10 pixels over, so 10, and I want it to be back at its starting location, so I'm going to make that 0. And let's see what this does. All right, it's very slow right now. Look at him. Look at the little hops.
Those are cute little hops.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to do a couple hops at a time. So I'm gonna paste this a few times and then put this back up to 500. And now I'm gonna do for the other direction. I'm gonna do the same thing. All I'm gonna do is take these x values and make them negative. So this will be the same animation, but just going to the left instead of to the right. Yeah, look at him go. All right, we probably need to do some stuff to make it so that he doesn't like go off screen. You know?
Cha-Cha's off screen.
Yeah, because he's doing that a lot right now. But he's pretty cute. Also, this is happening way too often. Let's make this more like every 2 seconds for now. Okay. So the other thing we need to do is right now they're not changing direction. So let's make sure that we set the right image if they're moving to the left versus moving to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and drag out this image, which will duplicate it for me. I'm going to go into sprites and I'm going to get a set image to. This one right here. And we're going to take our value, and if we're going to the right, we want to make this the image but flipped. So go ahead and flip that right there. Otherwise, we want to do this and flip it back. Okay, let's make sure I didn't do that backwards. And back this way. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's a cutie. Okay. I like this so far. So let's make sure that they don't like go off screen because, you know, that's no good. So we're having them move 10 pixels 3 times. So they're moving 30 pixels each time they do this little hop. And so to make sure that they're not going off screen, we just need to make sure that if they're like within 30 pixels of the side, they just won't move. That'll stop them and also make the movement a little more erratic. Should be good. So we're going to drag out another if. We're going to go into sprites and we're going to get like a property block. And we're also going to go into logic and we're going to get like a comparison. So let me go ahead and put, yeah.
Chat wishes for Chop's freedom.
I understand. I love Chomp too, but we need to maintain the fiction of this game. And the fiction of this game is Chomp cannot move beyond the frame because he will not be in the next frame when we move over there. All right, so this one's moving to the right. And so I want to do this one for the left. And we're going to say that if our left is greater than 30, then we'll run. If it's not greater than 30, we will not go to the left. And that should stop them from going off the screen. You can see it's not moving at all because it's trying to move left. There we go. Cool. All right, so we're going to do like the opposite. So I'm just going to copy this if statement, put it up here. And we're going to change this one to be less than, and we want it to be 30 pixels from the right side of the screen. And the screen is 160 pixels wide. So we want to make sure that we do 130 for this. And actually, I think that this might actually be a little bit too much. I think we could probably actually drop this down to be like 22. I think should be fine. Because we're actually referring to like the center of Chomp. And so there's a little more wiggle room than we're giving it. Chomp, go to the edge. Yeah, all right, so that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so there's still a problem with this, which is right now that Chomp will definitely go through walls if there are any walls here. I don't know if we're going to worry about that. Maybe I'll just always put Chomps in open areas for now. It's the easiest way to deal with that problem. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to make it so that we actually go and lunge at Chomp. Lunge at our protagonist like every once in a while. Like he's just going to like realize that, you know, he's a vicious creature and not an adorable puppy dog. And gonna like look at us and then like do chomp, 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 and then lunge in a straight line towards us, like chomping. And we'll have to dodge. So that's gonna be like a 2-stage thing. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna be using sprite data, which I think I already added. Yeah, sprite data. So we're gonna store the state of our Chomp. We have like 3 states. Let me break this down. We got let's see, the moods of Chomp. 1, Lil Hops. 2, looking at you. And then 3, I can't think of a fun one for this. Lunging. So the idea is we're going to be doing lil hops for like a few times. Then we're going to change to looking at you, and we're going to animate chomp. Then we're going to do lunging, and then we're going to go back to lil hops. And we're just going to have them kind of loop like that. So let's go ahead. We're going to go into our chomp. We're going to grab our set string. So let's do that right here. And when we create our chomp, we're going to set their, let's see, we want to do this new enemy variable. We're going to set their state to be lil hops. Yeah, this is definitely something that I'm going to understand later. No, it's important to be cute. Okay, so we're going to, in here, we're going to put all of our stuff inside of here, and we're going to say that we're only going to do this if our state equals lil hops. So we're going to go into our sprites. We're going to grab our get the string. There we go. Going to get our state. We're going to say if it equals lil hops, we're going to do this. So our program should be running just like it was before, yet nothing changed because we're not changing our state yet. All right, so we want to do lil hops like, I think maybe like 2 or 3 times. So I'm also going to add like, I think the easiest way to do this is I'm going to have like a state number, and then we're going to like increment it each time. And then like when it's equal to like 2, I'll just say, okay, now your state is this. And we'll just like keep going like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get that started. We're going to go into our back over here. We're going to set another data, but this time it's going to be a number. It's going to be state counter. And we're just going to set it to 0. What do you guys think? Should it always do the same number of lil hops, or should it be like a little bit random?
I like the idea of a little bit random.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do change state counter by number 1. So it's gonna make it go up by 1, and then we're gonna make it a little bit random. So we're gonna put in an if here, and we're going to see if our state counter is greater than. And for this, we're going to use a random number. So first let me get my number. So let's see right here. So if state counter is greater than, and then I think we're going to do anywhere between, so I think we want to do at least 2, and then like what's a good upper bound, do you think?
6, maybe?
Okay, do 6. It's actually probably going to be a little less than that, like on average, because this is running each time, but it'll still be more random than it is now. In any case, when this happens, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to set our state counter back to 0, and we're going to change our state to be the next one, which is another string I will not forget. Looking at you. Let me put the apostrophe in here. All right. Okay, so we've done our little hops. Now we're going to do our looking at you. I'm just going to copy and paste this. That's going to be the easiest way to keep this consistent. Okay, so when this happens, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to look at the player, and then we want to record where the player is, because that's going to be the part that we lunge to in our next step. So that's going to also give them a chance to dodge, because otherwise, if they lunge really fast just immediately, there's no way we can escape from it, right? So they're going to have like the 2 seconds while we're in looking at you to like get out of the way, and then it's going to run over. So to do that, we're going to first make it so that we face the right direction. So we're going to go into logic, and we're going to do a comparison just to see if they are like to the, oh, whoops, I did this. This one should be right. There we go. We're just going to see if the mouse is to the left of us or not. So we're going to do the X. And we're going to see, are they, is hero, I think is what we call this. So if our X is greater than the hero X, that means that they are to the left of us. And so we want to set our image to be the left-facing one. Otherwise, we will set our image to be the right-facing one. Now, we also want to animate our chomp. So I'm going to go into animation, drag this out, and I already created the animation for this, like Rachel Ray revealing the thing that she has already baked. Inside of my assets, I've got this left and right facing chomp. So let's go ahead and grab the left one first, because I think that's what I'm in. Go, chomp, chomp, chomp. We're going to turn loop on. And then for this one, we're going to do the opposite one. So let's go ahead and, oh, whoops, I keep going to gallery in my assets. Got the right facing one. But once again, this is from Dobix. Thank you, Dobix, for giving us the art for Chomp. And then the last thing that we want to do is we want to, okay, yeah, so you can see he's looking at us. Not going to do anything right now, but he's chomping in place.
The tension.
Yeah. And now we want to store our location of our player. So we're going to store 2 numbers. So let me go ahead and grab this set number. We do lunge X, lunge Y. We're going to set this to be X, this to be Y. Sorry, I made this. These are the wrong variables. And there, then there. And this one should be value 2. Wait a second, what just happened? Oh, I hit the minus. Oh my gosh. All right, undo is your friend. Okay, so this one's yelling at me because I haven't put in a variable here yet. Let me go ahead and grab hero right there. A. Sometimes the blocks just don't do what you want them to, you know?
Oh, these are a lot of fun from Dabix.
All right. And now finally, we want to change our state to be the final state, which is going to be lunging. Is that what I said it was? Yeah, lunging. Okay. And now down here, because this is our only state that's left, we can assume that we're in the right state right here. And we're going to do the actual lunge. So we want to animate our chomp to get to where we're going to be. And so to do that, all we need, we're going to use that same animate path, but this time our animation is going to be a bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to be our value. And we're going to use a string join. And we just want to go to the location that is our lunge X and lunge Y. And so to do that in SVG paths, what we want to do is we want to do a capital L, which is line 2. Then we're going to pass in an X. Then we're going to do a space. Then we're going to pass in the Y. And I'm going to duplicate this. And for this one, we're going to do lunge X. This one, we're going to do lunge Y. And I'm doing a great job of being consistent with my capitalization, guys. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to set our state back to lil hops. All right. Got the scent. Whoa.
Oh, where did he go?
Okay, we did something wrong there.
Into
Let's look at our
land, not a number. Ferocity.
Should be a not a number thing. I would believe that. Okay, so we've got animate value with join capital L, value data lunge X, which I'm setting up here. Value data lunge Y, which I'm setting up here. And then it's a space. There's a space there. Looks right to me. Maybe I'm forgetting what capital L does. Someone want to look that up for me? SVG path, capital L. MDN has a very nice reference for this.
L is line 2.
Line 2? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. What am I doing wrong? All right, let's try this again and see what happens. Here he comes. And he disappeared again. Weird. All right, we'll do this a different way. So there's something going on with the animation thing, and I've been meaning to fix the animation thing for a long time, so I would totally believe there's a bug in there. What we're going to do instead is we're going to make our own move to function, which is really easy to do with Joey's sprite utils extension. I've done it a few times. So we're going to pass in a sprite, and we're going to pass in an X and a Y. And the way this is going to work is we're going to go into our sprite utils, and we're going to set our velocity at angle with speed. So we'll put in the sprite. And there is a nice way to get an angle out of an X and a Y from a sprite. And it involves just a little bit of trigonometry. But it is easy to memorize, which is what I've done, because who can remember what arctan actually means? So you want to get the arctan2 of the x, well, the y minus the y and the x minus the x, and then that should give you the correct angle. And it'll give it to you in radians, which is what we want. We can put that in here. We're going to put in our y right here, and our y and our x right there. And then we want to get the x and y of our sprite. So to do that, we can I'm just going to copy and paste this. You can tell I don't like going to the toolbox. I'll just like, if it exists in my program, I will find it and I will duplicate it.
Also, we have some more art from Davix when we finished.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I posted it in the chat. I didn't know if you wanted just the images, but I also posted a link to the project with the assets.
Yeah, just send it over for now. I don't know if we'll have time to get to it today, but we'll definitely get to it at some point, Alex. I love Chomp so much
looks really good.
Oh.
All right, and we're going to Well, it worked that time, didn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, totally got chunked.
I don't know what's going on, but anyway, this function is going to work 100% of the time. So we're also going to pass in a time. Okay. So time for more math. All right, so we've got this sprite utils. We want to get the amount of time. We're going to divide it by the distance. Sorry, we're going to divide the distance between the time. We're doing so much more math than I want to do today.
Math is the best part.
I do like math, but you know. Okay, so we want to do the not time. We want to do the square root of the difference in y and difference in x squared and add them together. This is your Cartesian distance formula. Or is it Cartesian or Euclidean, or both?
I think Cartesian and Euclidean mean the same thing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing x minus x, y minus y. We're adding them together. Pro tip for arcade. When you're going into the math category, remember plus is first. The divide looks like a plus when you're really zoomed out. And it will mess up your program and take you a really long time to realize. Make sure you get the plus. Okay, so we're going to add these together. We're going to put these inside the square root. This is now our distance in pixels, and it is being divided by our time, and that's going to give us our pixels per, whoops. Okay, that's going to give us our pixels per millisecond, which is not what we want. We want our pixels per second, so we're going to multiply this whole thing by 1,000. Because speeds in arcade, they are all in pixels per second, just so you know. And we'll put this whole thing over here. And now we just need to do our final thing, which is we have set our velocity, we've set our angle. We need to stop our sprite when it gets there. So we're going to do a after whatever amount of milliseconds do. We'll just put our time straight into here. And we're just going to set our velocity on our sprite to be 0. Then we have safely reached our destination. 0, 0. Right. Now, goodbye animation. Hello, wonderful function. Oh, I wish I hadn't thrown that away. There we go. I want this. I want this. Now you can go away. Except for that one thing I still need. Now go away. All right. We're going to call move to. We're going to put in our our lunge x and lunge y. Not that one. That one. Make this value. We make this lunge x. And then for time, we want this to be like snappy, so I'm going to make it 1 millisecond. I mean, 1 second. 1 millisecond is way too snappy. All right, let's test this out. Don't get me, chomp. Oh, we did the angle backwards. I knew this was a possibility. Okay, so we just need to swap these guys around. The order doesn't matter in the distance formula, but it does matter in here. That should fix our angle. Come get me, chomp.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay. Let him go. There we go. All right, he lunged over to where it was. All right, cool. And now he should be back into Lil Hops mode. Why aren't you hopping? Hopping, Chomp. Chomp.
He's ashamed because he missed the mouse.
It could be. You should know we still love him. Oh, it's because I got rid of that. Change the state. We'll put that in there. Change it back to Lil Hops. And then the other thing we want to do is inside of this Lil Hops, we want to stop the animation so that he's not just chomping all the time. So we'll do this stop all animations on value. And we have completed our chomp code. All right, I'm gonna collapse this block. I'm gonna go over to our to-do list. And then how should I do this? Done.
What's the Windows like command for strikeout, or is that a thing? Does it let you?
I'm on a Mac, and that would. There's no way that would work inside of a comment in our blockly editor. I have to assume we did not program that in.
I mean, is it ASCII or UTF-8?
It's a text formatting thing. So it's like an HTML thing. You have to put it in like the right tab or CSS. You have to apply the right CSS.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. All right, cool. Oh, we're not done with our chomp. We're almost done though. We need to do our damage in both directions. So we're going to copy our damage code that we did for our other guy. So that's right here. And we're going to also take this. So our other enemies are called frog bunnies because Joey was trying to draw a frog, but it ended up looking a lot like a bunny. And so he decided to call it a frog bunny instead.
I like that.
Yeah, they're pretty good. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate this. We're going to change this kind to be chomp. And we're going to just call this deal damage to hero on our sprite. We're calling it on sprite because this is the source of our damage. And we use that to determine which angle we should be like bumped out at. To see how we're getting bumped away from him, depending on which direction we hit him in. Okay. So that's all good. We also want to do our sword overlaps. So let's do that right here. We are once again just going to duplicate this. I should probably put this into a function. Yeah, let's put it into a function. Got this function damage enemy. And damage enemy is going to take all of this stuff in, and we're going to have to switch all of these other sprite variables to be enemy. So up, 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 up. Why are you angry at me? Oh, because it's just taking a little while to update. It's not angry. We're cool. Cool. All right. Nice. Okay. So oh, we also need to pass in our sword. Or really, we've got that in a variable, so I'll just go ahead and grab our, let's see, sword collider right here. And now we need to call this function because I don't want an OO quarter, especially since the bot is like not active right now because Joey's not here. So we'd have to like, I don't know what we would do. We'd have to just like remember. So this is my vow. I'm going to get no quarters for the next 2 weeks.
All right.
Okay, why are you angry at me? Variable sword collider is never assigned. Oh. Sword sprite. Yay. All right, so we're just going to duplicate this now. We're going to change this to kind chomp. And there's one last thing we need to do before we can attack our chomp. We need to go into here and actually give them health. So chomp should have much more health than a frog bunny, I think.
Yeah, he's a chunky boy.
Yeah, let's give him like 8. Let's see how hard this is. Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh no, I'm damaging my sword and not the not chomp. That doesn't work.
Wait, does your sword have health? Like, is it
No,
consumable?
it doesn't.
Okay.
I passed in sprite instead of other sprite.
It's like, that might be a neat mechanic, you know, like the more you use your sword, the less damage it does because it's like getting rusty or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should chomp be stunned that long after a swords fight?
Yeah, so one thing though is that his it shouldn't be ending on the blinking one, which I think it is right now sometimes. Oops, chomp's gonna beat me. Well, now it's not. Ow. Okay, chomp's pretty easy right now, I gotta say. We'll maybe tweak that later. I want to do something else today. So the thing I want to do is I want to replace the frog bunnies. So we love the frog bunnies. They're very cute, which is why we can no longer destroy them. And so we're going to replace them with the bats. So I'm going to head over to assets, and I'm going to go ahead and grab our bat right here. So I'm going to do a copy. I'm going to go ahead and make a new tile. It's going to be our bat tile. Put it right here. And we're going to go into our tile maps that have these bats, which is really, I mean, with the frog bunnies, which is really just one right now, I think. Where are you? I have to tell from the, like, pixely version. I think it's this one. Yeah. Oops, I'm going to my tiles. And we're just going to put bat in here. All right, so let's go over to our code real quick. I'm going to leave all the frog bunny code as is. But we're going to do something very similar for our bat. So we're going to go into our bat right now. Right here, we're going to cover up the tile just like we did before. We're going to do this duplicate. And we're going to set our thing right here to be our bat tile. And we're going to, instead of spawning a frog bunny, we will spawn a bat. And we're going to do some animation stuff on this guy too. Should hopefully be pretty quick. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so I've got this character animation extension, which I'm using for my mouse. We're going to use this also to animate our bat because we have animations for them moving to the left and moving to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here, change this to be new enemy. And I already made these animations. I think I showed them off earlier. So let's go ahead and do the left one first. Go to my assets. Got this cute little flying guy. Change this to moving left. We'll duplicate this one. Change this to moving right. Go over here. And now we need to do our behavior. So We should already have an on-game update somewhere. Yeah, so we got this frog bunny interval, and I'm just going to straight up change this to be our bat. You know what I could actually do? I could actually just leave this as frog bunny. Where are you, bat?
Oh.
Look at him go. He's not animating right now, but
Also, chat is very excited to see you attempt to get no quarters for the next 2 weeks.
And if I do get a quarter, everyone's just going to be cool, and they're not going to tell like Vivian about it, right? Like, we're all cool. Okay, so the animation isn't quite working, and that's because we're spending most of our time not moving. And so what we want to do instead of using this moving left and moving right, we're going to use facing left and facing right. And this should make it so that even when we're not moving, we're still flapping our wings, you know, as bats do.
Oh, there you go.
Face me, bat.
It's still pretty cute. I don't know.
Is it still too cute?
No, you can hit it with your sword. That's fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'll make it so it comes straight at you, and then you will have no qualms on fighting the bat. I don't know. All right. We don't have much time left, so we're going to do one last thing really quick. And I think that's going to be, we're going to put inside our grass plants you can cut. So let me go ahead and make a tile map that has that. So let's go over to our on start and put these in somewhere. I think I'll just do it in the same one that we've got right here. I'm going to go into my tiles and grab my plant. This looks like a plant to you guys, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I was working on this for so long that I like at the end I was like, this just looks like pixels to me now. I can't remember what a plant looks like. Okay, so we're just gonna put in like a little square plants. You know, we'll put our bat inside. And we're going to do a few things. So we're gonna go back to our on tile map loaded. Let me close this guy. We're going to, for each of our plant tiles, we're going to do this cover thing that we were doing before. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a plant tile. And instead of covering it with the little grass tile, I'm going to make this one a little less conspicuous and just cover it with the nothing tile. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop over all of our plants. And for each of them, I'm going to create a sprite, which is just going to be the same image. We're going to set this to be a kind plant. And we're going to place it on top. So just like that. The other thing we want to do is we want to make it a wall. So you won't be able to walk through these plants until you slice them. So we're going to go into scene. We're going to grab this set wall at right here. Change this to be on, change this to be value. And we've now created a wall of plants. Okay, so to slice these plants. So our sword doesn't care about walls right now. So our sword will just go straight through that wall, which is what we want. We're going to do an overlap with sprites of kind plant. And when that happens, we're going to do destroy. Where are you, destroy? Here you are. We'll do it with disintegrate so that it's kind of like And then we want to get rid of the wall. So we're going to go into our scene. We're going to do our set wall at, just like we did before. We're going to do set wall off. And for the location, we're going to do the location of our sprite. So that's in the tile map extension. You can go ahead and grab this location of sprite. It's just the other sprite. And that should be some plants that we can slash. Let's go see. All right. Should we free our bad friend from his prison of plants? All right.
Go for it.
Slice. Slice. Okay, I need to make it so that my sword doesn't hang around sometimes. I think that's because my computer is lagging. Also, this disintegrate thing is way too intense. We'll have to do a I want to do a thing where like leaves come and they go like foo 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 foo. You know?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but we don't have time for that, so I'll do that later. In the meantime, we got a couple things to do. One, you might have noticed this, but when I went down, when I was like in here, and I went down, oh, these probably shouldn't stick around, right? So we need to clean these guys up, and we should be doing that. Yeah, we're already doing that for our other sprites that we spawned, so we'll just do it here too. Change this to be plant. Destroy all sprites of kind plant. All right. The other thing we want to do is we want to fix our sword. So somewhere here, I'm doing a sword slash. The on A button pressed, I assume. There you go. Yep. Okay. So this is where I'm doing my sword slash. I've already got this thing for doing stuff after my slash is done. So I'm just going to make sure that our sword always goes back to its normal image. So we're going to go down to set image. I'm going to change this to be our sword sprite. And we're just going to leave this as transparent so that it disappears. And that should get rid of that thing of when my computer is laggy and the sword sticks around. All right. Come on out, bat friend. All right. Well, that about does it for us today. Let me go ahead and mark this as done. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing more of this. I don't know what we'll do tomorrow, but I'll figure it out before the stream. I've been Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum.
Yep, I'm Becky, and my MakeCode forum is B Buckler. I found it.
I'm Hassan at Hassan on the MakeCode forum.
And I hope you have enjoyed our little mouse being eaten by a giant chomp. And thank you, Dobix, for the art. I will get your art in for that you've submitted. I might do it off stream just because we've done so many enemies at this point, but it'll be in there. All right. Thanks for tuning in.